Welcome to TaleLearnCode. Here there will be about software development from each other, code to build solutions. And now your host, Chad Green.
Oh, hold on. There we go. I don't remember turning my camera off, so that's interesting. All right, welcome everyone. How's everyone doing? I hope everyone has had a wonderful day, or maybe your day is just getting started, all depending on where you're coming from. But I hope everyone's been having a wonderful day. Hey there, Douglas. How's it going? Nerdiest, welcome. Sure enough, let me know if the music volume is good. I had to, my settings got a little bit screwed up. I think I got to set back to the same as I had before. Night will be frozen. Yeah, it's pretty frozen here. You know, it's I just know, I don't know how much ice we got, but it was definitely a good amount of ice, and we're expecting some more overnight. And the joys of living. I mean, we're just far enough south that we don't really get a whole lot of snow. We get ice. All right. I don't know. There are times I wish we just got the snow. Well, I'm looking at, why is my camera so far off? Just adjusting this here. There we go. I don't know what I don't know what I did to knock it or anything. Oh wow. 11 inches of snow. All right, I won't say where you're at, but that seems a little bit odd for where you're at. But now you got me curious. Hold on a second. I'm now looking. I have no idea what we're supposedly getting here. I do always like when you look it up. You know, you bring up AccuWeather. You know, ice heavy at times. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean we're it says ice today. Tomorrow is slush and ice. Yeah, I see snow on Monday and Tuesday. Friday's gonna be like the warmest day in a week, where it's gonna get up to a balmy 33 degrees. So it should be fun. A wee bit high. Okay, thank you. I couldn't remember. Set it down there. I couldn't remember where I had it at. Kind of weird. It's so funny because actually I heard someone talking about this yesterday. So here, I'll switch over here. So I moved over to this to the Elgato Wave microphone, which I like it, and the biggest reason why I like it is I got a big box off my table. I really like the GoPro or not GoPro, the Go XLR. All right, so Doug, I'm just gonna go with it. Your Bugatti's going to be delayed in delivery. Probably not good to get a Bugatti in ice. And I know exactly what you mean, but I'm going to go with it. Hey, C-Films, how's it going? The Lego's going well. Actually, C-Films, I did see you Monday night. I watched you for a little bit. I was only in LaRCode mode. I didn't have access to that keyboard I had you on. To the computer that I had you on, but I enjoyed watching you for a little bit there. So I'm saying it's weird. I switched over this. The one thing, and I actually heard someone talking about this. I had to reboot my computer today, and when I rebooted my computer, like the music and system were gone. Right now, you literally click on, you click and you get it in here pretty easily. And the weird part is when you add it back in, it remembers the other, because the other settings actually come from Windows, so I guess there's not much for it to remember. But it doesn't remember like the volume settings. So hopefully I've got that at the right level. But yeah, Lego's going well. Over the weekend, I try to reboot my computer as little as possible. But with the state of my computer, there are times I don't have a choice. Although I hadn't rebooted my computer for probably 2 weeks, but it was just getting dog slow, and the only way, the only thing I do is reboot. Tough life you live there, by yourself, Douglas. So just answering the question of Lego. So actually, over the weekend, I had a lot of fun. Built the new X-wing, the new TIE fighter. They're smaller versions of it. I had a lot of fun building those. Those are fun. And then, like last night, after I was doing mentoring, and after mentoring, I went downstairs and I sorted a lot. Like 4 hours of sorting, right? Prepping for a couple of projects that are coming up, and all that stuff. And I hope to be streaming tomorrow night, probably around 9 or so, maybe earlier, maybe around 8. Building some Valentine's stuff. All right, so I want to work as a little bit different tonight, and this is one of these times where I actually get to do real work on stream, right? Because a lot of times the one I'm working on, I can't really talk about, right? It's proprietary. As a matter of fact, that's why I didn't stream Monday night. I was actually busy working on a data model. No Krios. What is real work? I mean, are you asking what I do for real? I work for a company. Well, a little bit weird the way how it is. I technically work for a company called Atria, which is senior living facilities or communities, I should say. But in reality, I work for Galena Solutions. Galena Solutions is in the middle of breaking off from Atria. And so we build solutions for retired home or senior living facilities. And we're taking a lot of things that were built on-prem and we're moving it all to the cloud. So I've been, like Monday night, I'm still working on this data model that I needed for Tuesday, for discussions on Tuesday. But yeah. So, today I got presented with something. So work not for a job is not real work. Oh no, work for the job is real work. No, I mean what I mean by that is I normally can't show what I'm working on during the day hours, on my streams and my demos, right? Because of non-disclosures and proprietary and all that great stuff. But so sure enough, so Microsoft actually has this new service, right? And you can see it's still in preview, right? So it's new, right? So Azure Communication Services, and basically what they're doing is they're building a competitor to Twilio. And now, admittedly, I have not used Twilio in about 3 years. I think it's when I was playing around with Twilio. And I like Twilio. It did some really nice things. Yeah, I don't know if this is a Twilio killer, because there's definitely some things that are not on the roadmap. For example, Twilio bought SendGrid, right? And I don't see email going there. Hey there, Jordan. How's it going? Yeah, so sure enough, there's someone else who knows exactly what I'm talking about, because this is the conversation we were having today. So we're still looking at Twilio. We still probably use Twilio for some things. But Microsoft's got this new service, Azure Communication Services. And actually, it was funny. A VP asked me a couple weeks ago. It's like, oh yeah, what do you know about this ACS? I've never even heard of it before. And I laughed because I was like, you do realize there's like, why would you use Twilio? Well, one, because it has been around for a long time. I mean, so that's one thing to think about with this service, right? I'm looking at services brand new, right? I mean, like I said, it's in preview, right? So they haven't even officially released this yet. You can use it. Technically, you're not supposed to. Well, you're allowed to take things to production, but there's no support behind it, all right? So where's Twilio? And here we'll go to Twilio real quick. Twilio's been around for a really long time, right? This is a very, now granted, Microsoft is an established company. I was about to say, it's a very established company, but it's an established company doing one type of solutions, right? So if you look at their products, I don't really know much about the Flex. I can understand what it's saying, but messaging, programmable voice, video, SendGrid email, which I've used SendGrid for years. All right, I still use SendGrid. So I guess technically, I use Twilio all the time because Copalooza uses SendGrid to send its emails. There's WhatsApp, SIP trunking, which is phone stuff. Here, I'm gonna make this a little smaller. So you can see, they have a pretty good list of products. Okay. I thought I was getting some type of alert. It's this thing. So definitely some really neat stuff in here, right? Admittedly, I don't know anyone. I might. ZipWeb. No, I have not. Take a look at this. Landline texting. What exactly do they mean by landline texting? I'm kind of curious. Okay, it's just texting, but it's weird. It's a landline texting. So this is another. There are plenty of services out there. They're doing these type things. I'm just curious on pricing here. Okay, so here they're doing. Okay, so in here you're charged a flat fee, and then you get so many messages per month. That's not bad. Twilio, if you look at pricing for Twilio, at least last time I looked, it's pay as you go. Like here, we'll look at. Well, so sure enough, here's one thing to look at, right? We look at, so here to send text messages is 0.75 cents per message, right? To give you an idea, the Azure one, at least at the moment, is 0.4 cents. So it's like half the price. A little bit less, or a little bit more than half the price. Now I do wonder. So here's the thing. And after I do a little bit, probably after tonight, I'm gonna be sending some emails because I'm a little bit curious. Is this preview pricing, right? Yeah, exactly. I am curious if this is preview pricing. What I don't see, normally when they're, so here's all they're saying. Services in public preview are subject to future pricing changes. Now, so that does mean they're allowed to change this when it goes out. I may or may not be able to get more details from the product team. Now, with that being said, if I do get more details from the product team, I won't be able to share it. but it'll give me an idea, right? Because I do wonder, now granted, normally, Microsoft's not normally in the habit of doing preview pricing, rock bottom to get customers in, right? They try to price it pretty closely, or they provide it free, right? I mean, they do one of two things. Yes, I will be able to share it with you and 3,000 other friends. And actually, it'll be, if I get the answer, it'll be on, on the email list, so you'll see it. Well, if you're subscribed to the email list, you'll see them anyways. So I want to be looking at this. I will say, I've already looked at this a little bit. I did, when the meeting was scheduled yesterday for today, I went in and took a quick look, did one of the quick starts, and it's like stupid easy to send a message, right? A text message. I think it's one line of code, right? I mean, it is so easy. You never see us. All right, I'll let you. I'll pass on some information to you later on. So with that being said, actually, I just realized I'm in the screen. So what I want to do here. Oh, I just noticed my green screen is a little messed up. Let me get those lights on here. Help that a little bit. There we go. Helped a little bit. Yeah, still some markers. All right, so here's what I'm looking at. Let me get a notepad out here. And we're really looking at a very simple use case to begin with, all right? It really is as simple as inquiry comes in, right, via SMS, right? So now again, I mean, I explain it well enough, simple enough. But think about, in our case, we're managing. Well, we are not managing, but our customers are managing, senior living communities, right? So someone says, "Hey, I'm interested in touring your facility," right? So some type of query. How much does a one-bedroom, suite cost, or whatever, right? So some type of inquiry comes in, right? We want that, and then we want to be able to respond to an inquiry. So it was actually given to me just as simple as that. Now, I think what we need to do is in here, we need to have some automatic responses, right? Because there should be some type of, if it says, hey, I want to schedule a tour, right? Well, then we should do something like, say, hey, we'll get right back to you, with a tour, with possible stuff. Hey, Harold, how's it going? Or maybe something like, hey, you can go to this webpage and you can schedule a tour, right? Or, if you're asking for pricing, we can point you to the pricing page, that kind of stuff, right? So, I mean, technically it's part of the responding inquiry, but really what this is someone goes to a page in the application, sees that text message that came in, right? So this incoming message, and then, so, a person is responding to a message. That responds to message, right? So that's kind of the way how I'm taking this, right? And then the other thing I want to look at with all this is a little bit of journaling, right? So the idea of recording this inquiry coming in, recording that automatic response going back out, recording, this response going back out, right? So that's kind of the use case I want to build. Probably working this tonight, and I would imagine also Friday. Well, let's see how far we get with this tonight. It'd be awesome if we can get all this working tonight, right? But like I say, I'm learning some stuff with this and everything, so we'll see how this goes. And we will start with, and again, some of this I'm walking through again. So like I said, I did some of the stuff last night, but I'm gonna do it again. Yesterday afternoon, I should say. But But I'm going to do some of this again. I will say they have some decent looking samples, but we're going to look a little bit simpler. Here we go. I want to start with their quick starts, all right? Real quick, just, you know, if we take a look at what they're saying here, I'm not going to watch this video right now, but, you know, you can see some of the stuff that they're you know, create a communication service resource. Okay, this is common scenarios, samples. Okay, all kinds of great stuff here. All right, so let's go. Let's look at the telephony SMS because that's what I'll look at. And actually, let's look at this one here. Now, I'm not going to do this whole procedure here because I've already. Oh no, I am going to do this. I did say I want to do this. All right, so we're going to because I want to keep things a little bit separate, right? So let's so basically this walking through, which guess what, creating an account is just as easy as everything else, right? It's really not that hard. I am doing this in Opera, and the reason is, so the one thing I did find out yesterday, so you know I have several different subscriptions, all of which are well, not all of which. I have several different credit subscriptions. The one thing you cannot do is set up a phone number to send or receive messages on credit. You have to actually Microsoft actually has to charge you, and that's going to be one of my questions to the product team. You know, why not? Right? Is this something to preview? Is there a legal reason? It could be very well a legal reason. I'm just kind of curious why can I not use you know? And I did at first. I thought maybe because like what I normally use is a sponsored you know, Microsoft MVP sponsored account, and it didn't work there. And there are some restrictions on those. So I thought, okay, well, let me go one of my other regular, you know, like I tried going in my MSDN license, you know, through work, and it doesn't work there either, right? All right. So, oh, and the reason why I'm in Opera right now is because I'm in a whole nother account. You can see I'm actually I'm logged in as TaleLearnCode right now. Because that was the other weird thing I'm having. I'm actually dealing with Azure support right now. I was like, all right, well, I'll create a pay-as-you-go account because I don't have a regular pay-as-you-go account. And I was like, all right, well, let me create this. And for some reason, on my account that I do everything with, you know, it defaulted to the Cayman Islands. It would not let me change to the Cayman Islands, which at first I'm like, all right, I don't care. Except for when I got to the billing part, it wouldn't let me put a U.S. address. I'm like, well, okay. And then you know, the Microsoft accounts get a little bit weird, so that's why I'm on a different browser. So, long story short. All right, so let's create a resource. Yeah, oof. Well, and the email I got back from support was kind of weird. They were kind of like, well, we can't change it. When you created your account, you must have set it to Cayman Islands. And I'm like, I didn't set it to Cayman Islands. And then I actually sent them back a screenshot earlier today. I'm like, you mean this account that shows me in the United States and actually lets me change it if I want to change it? All right, so we're going to search for Communication Services. And we're going to go ahead and create. And so we're going to go in here. So we're in our Azure subscription one. What a great subscription name. And we're going to create a new resource group. We'll just call this RG Taylor. Let's call this TLC ACS. So just something I can remember to delete later on. And then I'm going to create this as, let's see if we can do CS prototype. Okay. Nope. Actually, I might have already used that name. Let's do TLC prototype. So obviously these are unique for all the communication service accounts. All right, and we're going to do United States. Actually, it's the only location right now. So that's something to consider, right? We do have customers outside the United States, right? So that will be one of the things. And again, actually, I should write some notes here. Let's see here. Only available in U.S. So questions for product team. Basically, is this because it's in preview? Is this gonna change? Preview versus real pricing. All right. I'll just leave that over here. All right. So I'm gonna skip tags right now. Although it's funny, today I published a Azure resource naming and tagging standards, and here I go skip tags. And actually, the one person who actually has to follow those standards more than anything else is actually watching me right now. But do as I say, not as I do, right? Nah, because like I said, I'm gonna. This isn't even the one that I'm keeping for the company, right? This is one I'm building literally for the stream, in case I accidentally dox myself, because I don't know where all the places that as we all know, Azure has a tendency to show things that it shouldn't show, in the wild, right? All right, so here we go. So we're number one. I love how fast this thing is set up. I mean that is crazy fast, right? This is something I've been noticing the last year. It seems like more and more Azure services are being set up faster. I am curious, and this is I am curious, another question, what region is this located at, right? And that's more of a curiosity question. Right, but I didn't pick a region. I picked a data location. All right, but it would tell me if I know there's issues in say southeast region or southwest region. Then I know maybe we're going to have troubles, right? If that's where it's located at. I don't think they're putting anything else in the southwest region brand new. Not after all the issues they've had the last couple of years. All right. So we've done that. Now I know the other thing I need to do is I need to get a phone number. So we're gonna go in here. We're gonna get this number, and I'm gonna get to a certain step, and then I'm gonna take this away from the screen because I'm not gonna actually show the phone number because someone will be stupid. All right, so here again, you gotta pick a region. You don't have a choice. You can see the use case. I am curious what is different here. So application we're making calls or sending SMS. A person. I am really curious. Hey Ryan, how's it going? I am really curious what the difference is here, right? Here's one of the interesting things. If it's a person, you can't do it toll free. So the other thing I have already found out, I'm getting it right here. So here, if you pick the geographic, right? So in the 502, right? Because that's the area code here in Louisville. Notice I can't do the SMS options. That is kind of interesting. Now it does say at this time, right? So I think that's something they're working on. So we're going to do toll free. Oh, I should also mention. Yeah. Well, I didn't read all the docs. I saw this yesterday. I will mention that this is this is all they're basing all of this off of what they've done with Teams, right? So it's not like they're building this all fresh, right? They're using Teams off of this. All right, it's interesting. We can have inbound and outbound calling. I'm going to add these on because there's not adding cost to this, right? I'm just turning those features on. And so I think that would be a good thing to do. And then we're going to say inbound and outbound SMS. That's really what I'm trying to test right now. All right, and then we're going to cook this next numbers. Here's where I'm going to, I'm not going to show that for a moment. Well, wow, that's interesting. My Stream Deck just rebooted on me. That was interesting. Oh, okay. Well, actually, so then it's going to ask me, area codes. This is interesting. Yesterday, it gave me 2 different area codes, and in quantities, right? So I can get multiple numbers if I wanted to. And then I think now, when I click the search button, yeah, now it's finding one phone number for me. It's still finding that number for me. Okay, so now it's found my number. And then sure enough, you get 16 minutes to complete the order, right? So in other words, it has locked that number in for you, right? I'm going to copy this right now. Although, you know what? I'm actually hiding this, but I'm going to end up showing it later on. And there we go. I'm now being, I don't think I get charged yet, but, I just committed to. All right, you know what? I can always recreate this number because, it's going to be shown so many times anyways. So there's the phone number, right? And it's creating it right now. So, all right. So I know we need this, and we might as well let that go. So now, go back to the quick start here, and we're going to go to this. Okay, buddy. Am I streaming? I have no idea. All right, if I'm streaming, I don't even know it because I'm not getting good confirmation. Hold on, buddy. If anyone's there. I am streaming. I have no viewers. All right, looks like this is kicking back on. All right, so my power fluctuated for like half a second, but it was long enough to knock off the cable modem. All right. Well, that was fun. Not really. Okay. Yeah, well, it was funny because I mean I had no indication that I got knocked off, and you know, so I was just talking, and then I needed to get something on the internet, and that's when I saw that, you know, everything died on me. Well, sure enough, I mean, we've got ice, right, you know, covering up everything, and I guess we had, you know, some type of disturbance for our power. Like I say, it was just long enough for the battery to kick in, you know, my computer battery to kick in, but not enough to even really notice otherwise. So, all right, back to all this. So we're gonna be looking at the send an SMS message, and what we're gonna do in here is here's all the prerequisites. All right, so here you see they're creating an app, and we're gonna get to this install package, right? So let's go ahead and copy that. Actually, click the button. So, sure enough, I do have in the GitHub, there's a new repository for this. I called it Azure Communication Services, so a really creative name. So in here, let's switch over to develop, because why not? Practice, good source code etiquette. All right, and then we're gonna make sure to go here, new project. And for the moment, we're gonna do a console app. I should say while I'm waiting for, so let's just say send SMS. Get this in the right place. All right. So I will say the other thing we want to add in here is, in these list of requirements for this initial prototype, we also want this to be componentized. Right? So the idea of everything the service provider logic all resides in its component, right? And we provide all of our apps a consistent way. So if let's say we start using this and we find it doesn't work, right? Even after doing some initial testing, and we decide to go to Twilio or what have you, right? Or split things out, right? We can make it so that the apps don't even notice that, right? All right, I'm gonna do this .NET 5. All right. So now we got our application going. What I'm going to do now is we're going to go to our package management console. Come on, PowerShell. And we're going to go ahead and add that package in here. do it this way. I am glad to see that it's in the Azure namespace, which means it's in the brand, the not brand new anymore, but the Azure SDK umbrella. So, Microsoft has an initiative going on trying to get all the SDKs under one umbrella using one standard. So the way how you do this service works very similar to the way how you do this other service, right? All right, so now we've got that installed. And sure enough, if we look down here, okay, so you're gonna have your using statements. So we'll add those. I'm like I say, I'm gonna show you how stupid simple this is. Okay, it is essentially 2 lines of code. So the first here is we're going to have our connection string. I'm not going to keep it in an environment variable for right now because, like I said, I'm at this point, I'm whatchamacallit. I'm still exploring. So we're going to do this whole settings thing, which is what when I write demos, this is what I do anyways. Have this static settings class. Makes it easier for me to change settings. And then what I'm going to do, we're going to have a public string ACS connection string, which is going to equal something. We're going to have a public static string, and then we're going to have a I'll call it ACS phone number, which I'll put that in here in a second. We're going to have a string, I'm going to call it consumer phone number, which I'm not going to put here. Yeah, I'm not going to put my phone number. It's already easy enough to find my phone number. I'm not going to spread it on the Twitch stream. And I think that's all we're going to need for now, right? So I'm going to open this over here, and I go back to Opera here. So sure enough, I'm going to go to the keys page. I'm not going to open it yet because I do remember when I was in it yesterday, because I was upset with this, they show the keys right away. They're supposed to be changing that, and that's where I get upset. Here you got a new service, and you don't. It's not fixed, right? All right, so I'm gonna go to keys, and you have like what you normally see with oh, that's hard to use. Let's see here. Not that one. I want this one. And you have your normal screen that shows you, all your keys. Doesn't hide it because why would we hide it, right? Why would we enforce security, right? I don't get as upset as like a good friend C# Fritz, but it does upset me, all right? All right, then I'm gonna put in the phone number from, here, which so I'm going to put in this 833 number that our account's using, and then I'm going to put in my phone number that I can use to see the text messages coming up. The one thing I did notice yesterday is you have to have it in the format, with 1-502- whatever the number is, right? All right. I'm not really giving away the 502 because you all know I live in Louisville and there's only one area code here in Louisville. So the issue is, here's the crazy part. There is an Azure portal team whose whole responsibility is the portal. And they set guidelines, right? So they set guidelines that state you're supposed to hide the password by default and all this type of stuff. But then it's up to the product teams to actually write the pages. And apparently, this is what gets me upset. I'm like, come on, Microsoft, can you not police this better, right? So I think I'm gonna reach out to those folks again. Kind of like, hey, how's it going? Actually, because wouldn't mind asking them to speak at a user group at some point. But see if I can find anything more about what's going on with that whole conversation we had a while back. All right, see if I can open up the right tab. Did I close it? No, it's right here. Okay. So the first thing you have to do, once we've got our stuff for our settings, right? Basically create the SMS client. And again, this is, this I know because, like I said, it's using the Azure SDK guidelines. So I know for a fact it's using it's going to always be this new client type thing, right? So we're going to do that. And we're going to see if I can quit tabbing on the wrong thing. And then you're going to have one other line of code to do this, which is, all right, so and then here again, just keep some things a little bit safe. We're going to say, we're going to put it in here. Let's see its phone number. This will be settings, consumer phone number. Oh, that's nice. Okay. Hello world via SMS is cool. And I haven't actually figured out what this enable delivery report's doing. I still need to figure that out, right? I am curious, are there any other options? Right? Is there anything else I can do in here? Looks like I can give it a cancellation token. Okay, also looks like, oh, this is nice. I can do, and it's probably hard to see, but I can give it a list of phone numbers. All right, so I can actually have it go to multiple places at one time, which, think like a workplace sending you a message that, hey, there's gonna be a lot of ice. If you're worried about coming to work tomorrow, tell your boss, and everything will be all right. All right. Sure enough, we got a text message like that today. All right. So that's actually all I have to do. All right. So, I'll put in here message sent, and we'll run this. So we're connecting, and ooh, we have an error. What does it not like? Invalid to format. Well, what did I do wrong? So it's saying invalid number format, but I'm pretty sure I've got that correct. Let me But again, this is why I wanted to do this again, right? I wanted to see, what happens when I because in here okay. I know what the problem is. The phone numbers, you can't have the dashes in them. Which is weird because when you copy it from the Microsoft resource, it puts the dashes in it. But you actually do not want the dashes in them. That was my problem. I had 1-502-XYZ- Now what? There we go. I forgot. I was looking right at it. You do have to have the plus. So +1, which is basically the area or the country code. Oh, and there we go. So sure enough, just making sure there's nothing that I want to hide here. So in there, sure enough, see if I can get that to focus. We can see hello world via SMS. All right, so that works. So cool beans. But like I said, I proved that yesterday, although I think it took me longer today, even without the internet outage. I think it took me longer today than it did yesterday, but that's the way how things go. So cool beans, right? That's the first step I want to see. But what I really want to look at, because that's useful, all right? But what I really want to look at is this handle SMS events. All right. So, and in here, basically it's going to work with Event Grid. We could also send an SMS in Logic Apps, which is nice because I did not know this, but today I found out we actually use Logic Apps to send our emails. So I actually will probably take a look at that send SMS in Logic Apps. Because I might use that instead of the way how we just did it. All right, so again we're seeing the stuff. Okay, so now here we have to enable Event Grid Resource Provider. So if you haven't, you need to register event. Okay, so I need to create an Event Grid resource, which we do not have yet. Like I said, Event Grid is one of those things I always like. I like it, but I don't use it very often. I find it really neat, but honestly, I usually get away with just Azure Functions. Not that anyone on the chat likes Azure Functions. Yeah. But I mean, sure enough, generally, it seems like when I need something that where an Event Hub could work, or not Event Hub, Event Grid could work. Azure Functions does it just fine for me, and since I've been using Azure Functions since almost day one, that makes more sense to me, right? All right, so see, here's where I'd like to know that location, all right? Because I generally profess putting this kind of stuff in the same region, all right? Not knowing, I'm gonna put in EastUS 2. Generally, that's the fastest for me. get this created. Well, first we got, I should say, first we have to get it reviewed. All right, now we can create it. All right, so while that's working, okay, this is just saying, oh, this is different. Select the description you're using for Event Grid. On the left menu under Settings, select Resource Providers. Find Microsoft Event Grid. Did I not need to create the account? Well, I mean, I did. And again, things are going a whole lot quicker than they used to. All right, so select subscriptions on the left menu. So they're talking here. Well, okay, they're talking about this one here. And then they're saying, okay, let's go here. And then they're saying on the left menu under settings, it's like resource providers. So resource providers. And then I'm supposed to find Microsoft Event Grid. Okay, it's registered because I just created it. So, I mean, I'm sure that's okay. So now we've got that done. Okay, subscribe to the SMS events using webhooks. Okay, so we're going to go back to our communication service, and we're going to do the event subscription, and press okay. Yeah, I did that. Just looking to see what they say here. For SMS, you'll have the option to choose SMS received and SMS delivery report received. If you're prompted, okay, so basically I need to do something similar to this, okay? So we're gonna say, keep that. I do have to give it a system topic name. And again, you know, event grids is using those topics. That's how it defines, you know, what type of events are coming in. All right, event type. So we're going to do SMS received and SMS delivery report. As you can see, there's a whole lot of other great stuff, right? Chat, a whole bunch of chat stuff. Recording file status. Huh. Interesting. All right, and then the endpoint type. What's webhook? Okay, so we're going to create that. And okay, yeah. I didn't see where it asked me that, but that's all right. Oh, select an endpoint. Here's asking me. Oh, now it's asking me for that. So it wants this to be, you know, this is kind of not ideal. Oh, so this would be, wait a second. For the endpoint, select an endpoint, and enter URL of your web app. I don't remember that being a prerequisite. It wants a web app. Look at this. It says prerequisites: an Azure account with an active subscription, communication service account, and SMS. Okay, so all those. But then when you get here, for the endpoint, select an endpoint and end the URL of your web app. In this case, we use the URL from the Azure. Oh, maybe I missed something here. Maybe okay, that all makes sense. I missed something. For this quick start, we'll use the Azure Event Grid's web or viewer sample to view events in near real time. This provided, okay, well, this is nice. Oh, but this doesn't tell me I need to set this up first. Yeah, nowhere does it tell me, hey, you need to set this up first. All right, so let's go. And I'm opening over here because they've got this deploy to Azure button, so I don't have to do anything. All right, it'll do it all for me. Definitely use that, that ability there. All right, so again, we're going to create it here. Okay, so now our site name will be, this is the Azure Event Grid Viewer. Hey, why not? It's going to allow me to do that. I wonder, can I really set this up as a free account? I'm just going to say that there's no, well, I'm going to try it because I'm not, again, I'm on I pay for this account. So I'm going to try this with a free account. I'm going to see if that works. I'm gonna check out what the sound is outside. Lots of noise outside because of all the ice, the popping of the ice and such. So again, I'm curious if, because it asks for redeployment options. One of the options, F1, which is the free account, right? Which, there's a lot of restrictions on there. I wouldn't use it for a real business account. But if I could do this as part of my, my expiration, my initial expiration, I should say, because once I get this working, then I'll actually create it again. But at that time, I'll create it inside the company's Azure tenants, right? And like I said, on that one, I probably won't create as a free account. Just, I'll go to the first level, right? But because the one thing about the free accounts is that they're share. It's not a dedicated space, right? All right, this could take a couple minutes. All right, so while that's continuing, go back here. Oh, hold on. Let me make sure there wasn't anything else. Oh, it does say it's going to take 2 to 5 minutes for revision. And sure enough, here, on their sample, they're showing using the F1. So I guess it'll work. All right, and then we're gonna, yeah, once this finishes, we'll have that URL. All right, so to view event triggers, we must generate events in the first. Okay, so then trigger an event, you must send a message from your phone to the phone number attached to the communication service resource. SMS delivery report received. Events are generated when you send an SMS to a user. Okay. To trigger an event. Oh, okay. That's where that gets used. So you remember we turned that on in this code here. Yeah, right here, this enable delivery report. So I think that's what it's saying is that will actually trigger the event hub, right? So that I could do something. Try sending a message to your phone with delivery report. This action incurs a small cost of a few US dollars, cents, or less in your Azure account. Okay, yeah. All right, is this still creating this? Failed. What is going on? Okay, it would have been nice. Weird. Am I losing connection again? Or is it just Chad? He's having issues. All right. Yeah, it would have been nice if you would have checked that for me. All right. Delete. Yes. All right. Did that? Yeah, that delete that one. All right. So deploy to Azure. Again, we'll put in here. It is interesting. I don't get to choose my region. Let's see, TLC event grid viewer. That should be unique enough. Again, I'm gonna keep it F1. Let's look here again at the settings here. Okay, yeah, I kept that as none. Okay, let's try this again. And I should say, it's annoying that it didn't check that, but at the same rate, that's really reading in parameters of an ARM file. And then right now it's using those parameters, it's not using it, right? So it's annoying, but I actually get why that happens, why they're not able to check it for you beforehand. All right, let's see here. Still waiting for this to finish. And it did say this could take, I think it said 2 to 5 minutes. If you mentioned it, I've never noticed you mentioned it. That's too funny. Still creating. I guess while we're waiting for that, let's go back to this set of notes here. So events supported by Azure Communication Services. So yeah, so there's an SMS received published when an SMS received by phone number associated with the communication service. You know, receive SMS sent by the communication service. All right. So yeah, so there's chat message received, edit it. When a message is edited, you can edit an already sent message, I guess. So I do see us, you know, looking at this at some point, or at this whole chatting, right? And I would imagine tying this in with like the Azure bot service, right? You know, to add some intelligence to it. Oh, nice. You can add people to the thread. So like, what the idea that came in my head is, you know, put your manager on, you know, bring your manager on the line. Your manager could join the chat thread. All right, there we go. So we're gonna go to here, and I meant to go here to the actual app. So now, sure enough, you know, we've got our site here. Just waiting for this to start up here. This is the other reason why I wouldn't use free for real business stuff. It's definitely a bunch slower. All right, so now that's loaded. That's cool. All right, so and then the important part. So now we have that information. So now if we go back to here, put this in here. Confirm selection, and now if I create this, supplied URL is invalid. It cannot be null or empty. It should be a proper. It's not null or empty. All right, let's go back. Since there's a long delay in there, let's try this again. Okay. This one, here we go. This is the one I'm looking for. So, all right, again. All right, so we're going to put in SMS Events description. That stays the same. We're going to select these two event types. It's going to be a web hook. We're going to select our endpoint. And now we'll put this in again. That's the endpoint that I have. Confirm selection. Create. Weird. Invalid. Thank you for not staying there long enough. Invalid. Deployment has failed with following error. Invalid event subscription request. Applied URL is invalid. It cannot be null. It is not null. It is, or as I can tell, a proper address. Oh. There's 2 dots in there. That's what the problem is. This right here. Copy and paste failure. There we go. All right, so that's working. Yeah, exactly. And essentially, I mean, what we've done is now there's a webhook. So now, see what this is doing here. So if I send a message, hey everyone. So I've sent a message to that. There you go. Look, you see it, right? We got a message, and that was pretty near real time, right? Came in there. We got a, here's the subject. Here's the data. Oh, there's my phone number. Oh, wonderful. And there's the message. All right. Again, it's not that hard to find my phone number. But yeah. All right. So cool information we get here, because look, what I care about is we get I'm not worried about the subject. Other than the subject is good because that tells us the phone number it came in, right? Because again, I could, if I'm managing, again in my scenario, I'll be managing hundreds of, the software will be managing hundreds, if not thousands of senior living facilities, right? So, we should have different phone numbers for each one of those, right? So then you have the message ID. Talked about journaling, right? So that, guess what that is probably. I'm almost willing to bet that'll be my primary key for that journal. We have where it comes from. Again, we have the 2. We have the message. And then we have the receive time. So that's like what I want. So what I'm really curious about, that's cool. Let's see here. Is there anything else in the documentation? That's cool, but it's honestly not very useful. I mean, it's useful because it told me some things. Okay, so it's talking about viewing it. Alex, I'm trying to figure out your message there. Donated $10. Did you tip? Because you did. I should have got a message about that. All right. Well, I'm not sure. All right, so, okay, actually, that's that. And then we have the receiving SMS events. All right, so let's do this. Let's go back to our console app. And this time, instead of saying hello world, Oh, you're saying that's for the... all right. All right, so here we're going to put in here, let's just put another message. Right? Just to see what's going, to see something different. All right, now I'm going to run this one. Hey there, Sean, how's it going? There we go. So the message has been sent. Actually, Sean, you showing up reminded me of something, but there, I felt the message on my arm. So we're going to go back here. I don't see anything here. You would think it would have been quicker. I'll refresh. Oh, this is interesting. Refreshes clears that out, I guess. I was expecting something to come in here. Let's look at this again. Hey there, Curious Drive. I've seen you earlier today. Well, I didn't see you. I've seen you in chat earlier today. Which apparently all the...
It's someone's lucky day. Thank you for the gifted subscription.
Code with Sean gifted a tier 1 sub to Curious Drive. They have given 25 gift subs in the channel.
Well, again, thank you so much, Sean. And hey, there you go, Curious Drive. You got a subscription to the account, or to the account, to the channel. Which means you get to use all the awesome emotes we've got. All right, what was I going to say? All right, so once you complete either action above, you notice that the SMS received and SMS delivery report. These events show up in. I did not see. I sent that message. I see that message, but I don't see. Or I sent that message, but I didn't see that message pop up, which is interesting. Let's try it again. This time we'll just say third time a charm. Sending myself some weird text messages here now. So we'll let that get sent. So that message has been sent. We go back to here. I do not see it showing up here. Works for me. I'm responding back to the message. So look, this is interesting. I'm getting the messages. I've seen the ones that, did I somehow screw up the setup with that? I was pretty sure. Yeah, I would say Sean has been busy. Well, so sure enough, I will, while Sean is a little bit active, tomorrow night, here, I gotta look it up real quick. Yeah, here we go. I highly recommend people check out this event tomorrow night. So 6 p.m. Central Time, so 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Excuse me. The Tulsa, the Tulsa.net group is going to have James Newton King, which you might know him as, the guy who created Jason.net. He's going to be working about, he's going to be talking about gRPC, which, he actually now works, yes, Newtonsoft. He actually, so James Newton King actually works for Microsoft, and this is what he's working on, is on the gRPC. See, I've been listening to Sean Willimuth say it too much, right? It's so funny. Sean Willimuth, who's a pretty active speaker, loves gRPC, but can't get it straight. What is Newtonsoft? Ask it tomorrow night. I dare you. So definitely, I know that's where I just thought about that. I said I might be streaming Lego tomorrow night. I forgot about it. I will not be streaming Lego tomorrow night because I will be listening to this. Are you talking about the link I shared like 30 seconds ago? I'll share it again. Oh, here, Sean, you might have missed this. So this is McNerdy's function key. So, all right. So let's take a look. Did I somehow? Yeah, exactly. So I have events descriptions. Okay, let's take a look here. Yeah, I've got the SMS received, but I'm not getting those messages. Exactly. So when I'm curious, hold on, let's look at the metrics here. Let's turn off this. Save. All right, I'm gonna try that again. Hold on, which one did I turn off? Make sure I turned off the right thing. I got too many things open up. That's one thing. Filters. Yeah, SMS received, because this is the condition I care about. All right, so. Oh wait, no. That's the one that's working. I'm sorry. Filters. SMS received, we're not having a problem with. We're having a problem with this delivery port one. That's what we're not seeing fire off. Okay, save. And now go back here. Try this again. Okay, so message sent. There it is. These are not coming over here. Let's take a look. here, the metrics. Yeah, I'm also not seeing it here. Enable delivery report is true. Let's see what happens if I so here we were saying enable delivery report. I wonder what happens if I, in theory, it really shouldn't work at this point, right? And there's the message coming to my watch, but it's not coming up here. Well, this is really weird. Now, with it being said, all right, let's try something again. Now that I've got this 10 hour, let's see if I get another blip here, right? See, I'm also not seeing. There we go. There, it hit my watch. I don't, I should see another blip here. It's not picking this up. Delivered events. Dropped events. Well, this might make a short end to this if I can't get did I miss something? I mean, that's obviously always possible. So we selected those, we made it a webhook. Let's try this. Delete it. Okay, I'm gonna do a new event subscription. I'm just gonna recreate exactly what I had. So, event subscription. Select those two. Select a webhook. Okay. So we see, here where we see that validated. It is interesting. Look, this time there's another. Okay, well, anyway, all right. So let's see what happens now. So myself, you got another message. Message has been sent. Yeah, it's not showing up. Here's the. I just sent that, so it's getting the received, but it's not getting the delivery. Now, grant you, again, we're talking about a service that's in preview, right? I mean, there's no mention of this not working. All right, here's what I'm gonna try one other thing. We're going to. I'm just looking here. Yeah, that's just all the. I have a feeling this is just not working. I think there's something wrong with the service. I don't think it's anything I'm doing wrong. Let's try Azure Functions here, you know. Okay, I have to create the function first. Because it doesn't matter, I am going to go over, I'm going to go to my account that I don't pay for. Oh, no, it'll be fine. Because this will be a new Azure function. It'll be, you know, I'll be well within my my free resources here. So that's great. Function app. Again, and that's in that one. ACS. Didn't think so. TLC ACS. There we go. Code. We're going to do .NET 3.1. ECS 2. Oh, yeah, never mind. I was thinking something else. So why is it? I am going to turn on monitoring. I'm going to. This is where I really should use, because this I'll pay for, but it'll be all right. Yeah, so enable app insights. Because that can help. You know, some of this debugging here. Great. But this might turn out to be a, well, you know, I mean, again, like I said, I have a list of questions for the product team. Number one question might be, does this work? See how it's been a little while since I created an Azure function. Or rephrase it, been a while since I created an Azure function that I actually created in Azure. Most of my Azure functions I just create locally. Unfortunately, Azure Function still takes a while. Although, I mean, this is doing a couple steps, right? It's creating a storage account, setting up the, you know, So if you don't know, I mean, Azure Functions, basically it's setting up a, Docker, because that's the way how it's working in the background, is via Docker. You don't actually need to know that because it just works. Azure Functions are so cool. I've actually gone so far as to create a whole API that's using Azure Functions. All right. So now we're in here. So okay, slot production. It needs to be an event grid trigger. Okay, I have to admit I have not done an event grid trigger. I don't think I've ever triggered an Azure function off this. So this will be a new step for me here. Makes me think, actually, I did not need to create a whole Azure function in Azure. I could have done this locally. Oh, no, Sean, no problem at all. I'm glad you showed up because I should have, I mean, with that being tomorrow, I should have done it earlier, right? Development portal. Oh, okay. Create an Azure event grid trigger. Okay, so that's created. And I mean, this should be as simple as if I go into here. And if I go, that's not what I meant to click on. Run. Okay. Okay. Now, if it runs, I should see. Now, if it hits it, I should see. I should see something here. Although, you know, we can also go. We do this a step better. We'll actually see it here. Although this is a little bit slow though. That's the problem with this. Actually, if I go, that's not where I want it. Where did longs? That's not what I want. Where did the live preview go? Or do I need to go, maybe I need to do, here, live metrics. I always love that countdown. Okay, so sure enough, we should see it firing here. That's what I was trying to get to. All right, so now, oh, you know what? It would have been nice if I'm actually gonna do this part off screen here. Right, well, actually, let me just do this. So give me just a second here. I'm gonna put in the. I'll have to get it first, but I'm gonna. Get my function URL, which will have a key in there. Actually, it does even better. I forgot. Because of the integration, it's going to pick it up right away. All right, so we're going to confirm that selection, and we're going to create. Okay. I still don't think this is going to work, though. I don't think that, you know. But we're gonna see if this does anything different. Azure functions for the web. Okay. So we're gonna send that message. So the message is sent. And again, I'm not seeing, it's not firing. Because this should, I mean, there could be a couple second delay, but not this long of a delay. I am waiting a little bit because I mean, you notice it's only showing me the last 60 seconds, right? It's not, so something is just not working right here. And it's not showing up here, because I should see it in here. I mean, that function won't do anything, but it should fire, right? Let's take a look. Going back here. Not gonna be in there. I actually really want to open up as another tab here. I'm gonna look at the roadmap here. I know I saw the roadmap here somewhere. Oh, come on. Where did I see the roadmap? There we go, roadmap. So what I'm looking for here is I'm looking to see what are they working on right now. Non-as interoperability, iOS, Android, spam detection. That's nice. Yeah, it's not like this is something that just got released. Oh, well, here we go. Here was that one question I had. Once it goes general availability, then they'll add Europe, UK. I love the fact that Europe and UK is now considered different. Asia Pacific and Australia. Interesting. Not South America and not Africa. And again, the SMS offerings will only be in the US. So a couple things, again, as a company, as we evaluate this, there are some couple things to know there. What's ADO stand for? I know what ADO stands for. Yeah. That's the link to the Azure DevOps. It's actually supposed to be AZDO, but yeah, that's a whole nother story. So, all right, well, I don't know how much further I can go with this because I can't get, I mean, that's a key feature that I can't get working. And I don't see where I'm doing something wrong. I mean, not only am I doing exactly what the quick start says to do.
Welcome to TaleLearnCode. How was your stream?
Hey there, everyone from Six Figure Dev. Welcome. Thanks for joining in. Hey, John, how's it going? So we're doing a little bit different stuff tonight. Sure enough, for work, I need to look at this new service newer service from Azure, the Azure Communication Services. So basically provides communications type stuff. So sending SMS messages, receiving and making phone calls, and video, and all that kind of stuff. And the use case we've been that I've been working against is receiving a message for something, all right? Potentially sending a canned message based upon that. But then also allowing a user within the app to basically see this like in a CRM situation, and then respond additionally from the automated message, if there was an automated message. Maybe there's not, right? Well, there should always be, right? It should at least say, hey, I don't have an answer for it right now. We'll get back to you soon, right? But we're running an issue. We can't get it to work. It's in preview, right? So, there's no guarantees at it right now. But we were first working. Oh, I closed it. But their quick start has you using a web app that's basically kind of web trigger to see events. And I should try one other thing here. Let me try sending a message. But what I can't get. Yeah, see, look. So there's the received a message, all right? But we can't get the send message to work. I mean, we can send a message. That works just fine. But what I'm not seeing is the trigger, So here, I mean, so this is App Insights, but it's connected to a Azure Functions. We tried that. We tried playing a webhook, right? Which is what if we look at the quick start, that's what they're doing, is a webhook. But neither are working, right? So I have to think, we'll look at this here. Hold on, let's take a look at this article here. Integrates with Azure Event Grid. I have to think there's something wrong with the service. Event types. Yeah, this is just. Yeah, like I can't get this event to work. This event is not firing for me. Unless for some reason Could be maybe AT&T, because so I'm on AT&T. Maybe AT&T is not confirming the delivery. Maybe there's something like that. And who knows? Maybe like an hour. I'll get. I wonder if there's something like that. Because this event works just fine. The incoming message. I just can't get the outgoing message to work. And I should say, this doesn't necessarily stop. This doesn't necessarily stop from what the initial goal is, right? Because we can still make things work. Because I'm still getting an incoming message. And that's what matters. So, okay, yeah, I mean, now I'm thinking about, because I was thinking, well, I guess I can't really go much further with this, but I can. I just can't. I mean, basically what I can't get is this delivery report. And I just wonder if this is not instantaneous. I'm starting to wonder that now, which would sort of make some sense. So, all right, let's do this. Let's go back here. This Azure function's fine because I'm not really paying anything for it. I really don't want to keep the app insights for a while or too long. Can I stop app insights? I don't think so. That was me. Yeah, here's the responses. All right, because that happened. Yeah, 9:52. Yeah, that would have been. That would have been when I just when I started the project, or when I ran the event, even though or I ran the function, even though there was no event received. That was why it was a failed request. But I did that on purpose because for app insights to trigger to start the live monitoring, to do this, it needs a live connection, right? And of course Azure Functions, you're having amnesia and deja vu at the same time. Azure Functions by default does not start the server, any servers, until there's a hit, and then it'll ramp up more servers when it needs. All right, so the one nice thing I can do in here is it looks like I can go in here. Let's do event grid SMS handler. Online, just not really the best name, but it works. And we're going to create this as a webhook. Also interested in the other things. So I can do event hubs, which is nice. Service bus, so I can do message based. I can do event triggers. I can also just store it, right? Which is nice, right? I can just go ahead and store it. So I do see the potential of actually doing multiple event subscriptions, even for the same type of things. All right, so we're going to put that back in. Because I actually want to test this. I want to see, okay, now I've got multiple things running, right? So now let's go back to, where is that site? Go right here. Okay, so now I'm going to go right here. Should trigger two events. Okay, so we should see that hit here. Maybe. Yep, there we go. And we should see it here. All right, okay. So I wanted to verify that. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this open because I did notice this is a real-time thing, right? Which makes sense. It's watching it when the things. If I refresh this, it only gets the data in real time, right? It doesn't keep anything. So I'm going to move this over here, right? And maybe later on we'll see a delivery come up. I do really want. Like I say, I'm wondering if there's just if it depends if it's provider the consumer's provider responsibility to send that confirmation, and maybe that's where the delay is. If that's the case, they should update the documentation for that. So, all right. So going back to here, let's think about what else we could do tonight. And we got okay. Like I said, we can actually because we get this. Right, we Okay, I will say one other thing I don't like. Okay, that makes sense because it's actually because I'm two different things are listening to the same thing. That's why there's two events there. Right. One thing I don't like is, if we look at this Azure function trigger, the one thing I don't see. Oh wait, let's take a look at this. Like for me to do local development, right? Instead of doing this, all on the, in the cloud, right? Let's see something here. If we go, all resources, go to our event grid topic, and let's see here. Wow, that went further than I was expecting. Go back to the topic. Properties. Where was I just a moment ago? All resources. Oh. There's the topic, event grid system topic. I'm going to guess that I can't do... just fire up another Visual Studio. It'd be nice if I could do local development here, right? It looks like this one I can't really do that, which is odd. There's got to be a way. I mean, let me rephrase. I could do local development. Whether I could do local debugging is what I'm not understanding at the moment. I'm going to create a new project. Azure function. Get this to the right directory here. And let's just call this test function. Great. Of course, now I'll be asked for it. Well, it'll create the project itself. Then it's going to, okay, so event grid trigger. Like I said, I've never actually done an event grid trigger, so this is a little bit new territory for me here. So it took a little while. All right. Default URL for triggering event grid.
Welcome to TaleLearnCode. How was your stream?
Well, hey, welcome. Hey, everyone, welcome.
Thank you for following. Welcome to TaleLearnCode.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you for following. Welcome to TaleLearnCode.
Cyber Insecurity. Oh, that's an awesome name. Welcome. So, and
thank you for following. Welcome to TaleLearnCode.
104 viewers. So, let me give a quick explanation of what we're working on here.
Thank you for following. Welcome to TaleLearnCode.
So, sure enough, we're looking at a new service, right? So this is a more.
Thank you for following. Welcome to TaleLearnCode. Thank you for following. Welcome to TaleLearnCode.
All right. So we're looking at this newer service from Azure, still in preview. All right. So this Azure.
Thank you for following. Welcome to TaleLearnCode.
All right. Tell you what I'm gonna do.
Thank you for following. Welcome to TaleLearnCode.
Yeah, the alert is awesome, and the sound is awesome. But
thank you for following. Welcome to TaleLearnCode.
But sure enough, when you get a whole bunch of people in at one time, oh no, you're fine.
Thank you for following. Welcome to TaleLearnCode.
Yeah, we're gonna mute that here for a moment here.
Thank you for following. Welcome to TaleLearnCode.
All right. Of course, one problem actually, it's funny because I'm setting up a whole nother channel, and on there I actually separated the raids on the overlay. So I kind of lost my, my overlay is a little bit messed up at the moment, but that's all right. But again, thank you so much for the raid. What were you all doing on your stream? Hope you all had a good stream. So sure enough, what we're working on here is we're taking a look at Azure Communication Services. So you might have heard of Twilio before. Twilio's been around for quite some time, right? Not Twitch. Twilio. One stream, the news sub-alert ran for a combined 60 minutes. Oh, goodness. 367. Well, so I've had a whole nother situation where I've had follow bots, right? And, and you get like 11,000 followers all of a sudden. You want to talk about killing your thing. All right, this should be still showing a little bit alerts. We'll see if it's cleared enough though. There we go. So yeah, you might have heard Twilio before, which is actually a great service. And I know quite a few people that work over Twilio, but Azure has this new service, and I wanted to look at what's the viability.
Thank you for following. Welcome to TaleLearnCode.
Well, the one thing that we had here, let me do this a little bit different.
Thank you for following. Welcome to TaleLearnCode.
Just a second, everybody. I need to do the. I need to do this like how I did in my other. This is. Oh, I need to be. I was like, those don't look like the ones I'm looking for. New overlay, edit. All right, we're going to turn off. Let's see. Alert box. All right, we're going to turn off the follower alerts for just a little while. Okay, so so they have this new service, right? And basically the idea is you can send and receive SMS messages, voice calls, video chats, a bunch of pretty interesting services. And I'm looking, for work, right? The idea that an inquiry comes from SMS, probably do like some type of automatic response, right? So, sure enough, where I work, we build solutions for retirement communities, right? So maybe someone says a message saying, "Hey, I'd like to know the price of a one bedroom." Interesting that that's still the fall alert is turned off right now. Oh well, all right. What was it? Oh yeah, so like an automatic response coming back, right? So like maybe they ask, "Hey, I'd like to know how much this a one bedroom costs," right? We can probably want to respond back. Actually, generally pricing is available right on the web, so probably will say something like maybe X number of dollars, and you can view more information here. But then what we want to do, really that would go to like a CRM system, for follow-up, right? Because obviously we don't want just the original message, we want a follow-up, right? So, but we also want, if a person's going to respond via text, we want that to happen via our application so that, we can keep track of all the information, right? So that's kind of what we're looking at. And really just playing with this. Now, we come up to what is potentially a problem, right? We might have found something not working in this service. So what I was playing with, actually, we were just getting past this when the raid happened. We've set up. Here we go. We set up. This is what we set up. So so you can create you create the events descriptions, right? And so the two events we're subscribing to is SMS received and SMS sent, essentially, right? Delivery confirmation is really what it says. I am not seeing that delivery confirmation come in. Now, I'm gonna email the product team. I have a feeling, and it doesn't say this in the product documentation, but I have a feeling part of that problem is like a delay. So like I'm sending messages to myself, right? I'm using AT&T. I wonder if like AT&T doesn't respond right away, right? I wonder if there's something like that. And so hence why that hasn't triggered off yet, or something like that, right? Because sure enough, when we look at like this one where it's doing a webhook, we can see the received message, right? So and we even have should trigger 2 events, right? So that's what we've been working on. I actually really right as the thing was coming in here, I was looking at the Azure functions, and I was actually telling what I've done plenty of Azure functions. I've actually never done an Azure function that listens to a event grid trigger. And I got to be honest with you, I'm a little bit confused what this is doing. This is not doing what I was expecting to do. Oh, okay. No, I see what it's doing. Because I have to give it... Yeah. Well, that doesn't work very well. Because it's going to be a web hook that I feed into Event Grid. Normally, most of the times, it's Azure Functions, has a setting says, okay, here, listen to events that happen over here, right? Well, that's not going to work very well. Well, isn't going to work very well. So let's see here. Let's go back to here. Actually, to the function. No, that's not the function. That is... Well, that's fine. Oops, that's not what I wanted to click on. I wanted to go to... Why did my all resources go away? Weird. All right, where function app, and let's look at functions. This wonderfully named Event Grid Trigger 1, because again, we're just like I say, this is discovery work, right? Discovering what we can and cannot do with all this. So okay, this is gonna print event grid data to string. All right. What I want to do is I'm going to run this here. I'm going to see. That's going to fail right now, but that's okay. I'm actually getting it fired and getting the logs to work. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to send a message. What do we see? Okay. So now we should see in the logs here. There we go. This is what I was looking for. I wanted to know what all I get back. Right? So this is what we're getting, right? Which is nice. It's JSON, which means I can do some very simple things. All right, so there's what we want, right? Essentially, okay. So basically, we create an object, message ID, message to from message, receive timestamp, and then we can at least do some simple logic here. So let's go back to our project here, to our test function. That's fine. And function 1. I'm not really worried about the names right now. I'm going to leave that log in there. And what I'm going to say in here, let's create, add a class. And we'll just say this SMS received. Hey there, Paul. Thank you for the follow. I really do appreciate that. Actually, I think we can turn the alerts back on. More importantly, so I don't forget later on. All right, and then we're just going to create a very simple, so message ID get set. How about we do that correctly? Message ID.
Thank you for following. Welcome to TaleLearnCode.
Now that was kind of funky. Parsvilla, thank you for the follow, and for apparently triggering a double alert there. All right, so from string message. I guess it was stream. Maybe it was yeah, exactly. I wonder if stream elements was still like processing the event, all right? And that's why it fired both of them. All right, sure enough, I really don't want this as a string, but I'm going to keep it as a string for right now. Just keep things a little bit simpler. Hey there, Rod, how's it going? All right, and then the other thing I want to do, you know what I'm going to do, because I'm going to keep things just to make this work a little bit easier. In reality, what I should do is add in JSON, and JSON.NET will allow me to say, hey, it's gonna come as message ID, but I'm gonna do it like this for now. So we're gonna get this, and we're gonna say. Go back to here real quick. Although I think that's saying the same thing. Why can't I copy that? It is. Okay. So we're going to say var SMS received equals I don't know why I'm doing this. Equals event grid event data to string. What am I doing here? I want to say come on. I don't know why every time I do this, I always forget this.
Thank you for following. Welcome to TaleLearnCode.
Oh, I know why we're getting the echo. Let me close that browser. It's because I had the browser with the with Stream Elements open up, and you hear it over there. That's why we're getting echo. Hey, Aurora Moon, let me try that again. Aurora Lynn Moon. Thank you for that follow. All right, so JSON.net, deserialize. I don't know why I always forget this. You can see I've got it favored because I always forget this. Yeah, right here. This is what I want. Now, go back to our code. All right, it's going to be SMS received. Need the using statement. And then we need event grid, event data, string. Okay, so that will give us our event. And I'm going to do a very simple, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to bring this package in again. So let me go to the other, well, we can actually just go to our other test project we've been working on. So we want this package here, Azure Communication SMS. So we're going to go add new Azure function. Not that. What am I saying? I want to go to manage NuGet packages. That one. And of course it's in beta because again it's a preview service. Okay, yeah, that's installed. They do say that they plan on going GA this quarter. All right, so you know, there's another 6-7 weeks left in the quarter. So sometime soon. All right, now we also want these usings. All right, and then I'm going to go in here. Class. Settings. So I'm just using this for right now for my settings. I'm just putting in here. I'm going to remember because I didn't do this earlier. We're going to ignore the local item so we don't check that in. And then real quick, I'm going to, there we go. Let me add those settings in here. Okay. So now we're gonna again just copy this code here. Well, okay. What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna have some simple branching logic, right? So we're gonna say if and again, this is just going to be very simple logic at this point because right now this is just a proof of concept. So if SMS received, whoops, if SMS received, actually let's do this. Switch, whoops, select case. Oh my goodness, I'm drawing a complete blank what I'm doing here. Switch SMS received dot message, and we're gonna have in here. Well, we're gonna have a string return message equals string dot empty. Case, and we're just going to do, you know, use case 1. And again, these are just going to be really simple. And because I know my phone is going to want to autocorrect that, return message equals results for use case 1. Break case use case 2. Return message equals results for use case 2. Break, and then we'll have the default, which will return message I didn't understand. All right, I don't know. Okay. And then copy this. I must have saved because it. And here our message will be the return message. You know, this might have been causing some of our problems earlier. I'm gonna turn that back on. I mean, so you got this whole enable deliver report. We tried it with both on and off. That didn't seem to make a difference. All right, so that should be our function, right? Like I say, disappointing. I can't test this locally, right? That's because that's one of the big benefits of Azure Functions. Although I will say, I normally would tell you, like pretty much all of this logic right here, right, and maybe even where I'm deserializing it, should be in a component, right, that you then reference in your Azure function in a NuGet package, right? And the reason why I do that is because Azure Functions you can't write unit tests against very well. Actually, you can't actually write a unit test against it. You have to. I forgot what you have to do. It's been a while since I talked about this. Basically, you have to trick it. You know, it's not a true unit test. So I generally recommend, you know, this logic should be in another component because then I can unit test that, right? But again, right now I don't even care about names, so I don't care about that right now. So what I'm going to do, and this should be interesting, we're going to publish this. I've never published. I'm using a different Microsoft account right now. I'll get changes. Actually, let me do one other quick thing before I forget. Ignore that one also. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is we're going to publish right from here. Oh, is it not understanding what I'm saying? I just saw Oh, I saw it talking about 2 children using, yeah. I feel like Jackie Chan, you know, was it one of the what were those movies? Rush Hour. Was it Rush Hour? Is that Jackie Chan? Do you understand? Yeah. Kind of reminds me of this, right?
Connor! Oh, darling!
You know, actually, I probably shouldn't do that. But yeah, where he says, you know, do you understand the words coming out of my mouth? Maybe I won't actually do that, so I don't get copyright strike. Look it up on your own. All right. All right, we're gonna publish to Azure next. This is gonna be a yes. Yeah. Windows. Yeah, me too. Me too. I haven't. It's been a while since I've watched it. Might have to do another Rush Hour marathon. All right. Let's see if I can make this work. We're gonna add an account. Because like I say, I'm actually having to do this on a different account. So one of the things. Okay, looks like it's going to work. One of the things I did find with this, and this is good to know. So like, you know, like if you have an MSDN subscription, right? Yeah, or a Visual Studio subscription, I should say. It's not really an MSDN subscription anymore. But you have a Visual Studio subscription. You get, depending on the level of subscription, you know, like a professional, you get $50 Azure credit monthly. If you have the Enterprise Edition, you get $150 monthly credit. You cannot use that credit for the phone numbers that you create with the Azure Communication Service. So that's something to consider. Hence why I had to create a whole nother, I have this Microsoft account, but I'm using one I don't normally use. All right, so we're gonna go in here. I want to make sure, yeah, I didn't create a deployment slot. All right. Yeah, I'm just going to publish, like, yeah, straight from here. Because again, at this point, I'm not trying to get continuous integration working. I'm just trying to get a function up there. Actually, sure enough, I also could have just as easily just copied all this code and did this in the. You know, it was easier to write it here. I could have copied over there in the portal. But we'll let this happen, right? So we're going to publish this thing. Should want to take a moment here. Almost here. There we go. Publish succeed. All right. So now, what we're going to do is we're going to go back to here, and first thing I want to do is refresh. Why did you get rid of my other function? Oh, I know why. All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's a little bit of a bummer, but that's all right. So, but that means this is wrong. Well, we're just going to go ahead and delete this. And now back in here, because I still want that webhook, right? Because that webhook is Oh, okay, yeah, here. Yeah, webhook is firing is this, right? And it lets me see the messages coming out, right? I'm gonna move that over here. And I'm gonna create a new event description. Again, this will be a function, SMS function. That's just a name, right? Whatever I want to call it. I think it has to be unique within this account. All right. All right, we're gonna do. Right now, I'm just gonna do this as SMS receive because it's really all we're worried about right now with this function, because that's the only thing it's handling. We're gonna do an Azure function, and we're gonna select our endpoint. And notice that I only have one function, so it picked that for me. All right, we're gonna create this. There we go. So now we got it here. We should see it fire here. I also want to. Interesting, this kept online. All right, I'm going to verify something here. I'm going to go back to here. Go to my code test. Because really, this is App Insights, all right? I would have expected it to have closed up. I'm gonna run this just to get an error, or not. Okay, well, it didn't get an error. Also, I'm a little confused here. Oh, maybe I was too fast. Let me go back to here. That's not what I want. Where? There's what I want for. All right, I'm just making sure that live metrics really is on. Okay, there we go. Cool. So now. I want to send. What was the message we said we were looking for? It was not that app. This one. So we're gonna be looking for. We're looking for like a use case 1. All right. I'm gonna go in here. I'm gonna say use, and I gotta make sure I do the same casing because I did. I'm just checking a string, right? Normally I would lower that string. And check all lower values. All right, I'm going to check for that. I want to this screen here, and we'll see if this works here. I got results for use case 1. I'm not seeing it showing up here, which is a little bit interesting. There's that event here. That is awesome. I mean, we got that to work. So sure enough, I love the fact that the green screen is, but results for use case 1. All right. You all are awesome. So we, here, give it a moment here. So there we see it, and it said, "I don't understand." Well, awesome. So I tell you what, I think that actually is a good set there, right? I mean, I think Here you go. SH10 151. If that's elite speak, I'm horrible at elite speak. But I do think I'm gonna wrap it up at this point, right? I mean, I was able to, I was able to get the automatic response working. I was able to get an inquiry. I was able to, I know how to do a respond to inquiry, right? So really, what's left is journaling, right? So that's just, that's really just taking this, right, and saving it, right, and saving the other message, when we send a message, right? That's not a problem. And then the component ties, right? So I think Friday we'll work on that, right? And sure enough, in that time, like I said, I have a couple questions for the product team, the Azure product team. So I'll be sending a message tonight. Hopefully I'll get a response tomorrow. I want to see if they tell me what the real pricing is going to be. They may or may not. They won't. Even MVPs, they won't necessarily tell you the pricing. I actually have this answer. Right? It talks about. I found the documentation where it says when they go. Right now, it's only available in the U.S. But it does talk about when they go to GA or general availability, that it'll be open up basically everywhere. They're going to add Europe, UK, Asia Pacific, and Australia, right? But that does mean it does not include South America and Africa. So I'm curious about that. Like for example, Africa, right? I mean, most work is done on the phones, right? On the cell phones. Then I also have a question about what region is it located at, right? That is more just for curiosity knowledge, right? Because when you create it, you just create the United States, right? And I'd like to know, where is this happening? So, all right, let's take a look at who can we raid. Definitely share that love. I have a feeling I know who we're going to raid, but let's just take a look to see who else is up and running. I know Harold is going to be in here in a minute. Take a look at the live coders real quick. Hey, Tech Workbench. Yeah, I'm going to wrap up a little bit earlier tonight. I gotta admit, actually, I haven't been feeling as well as I should be this week. I'm gonna try to get a little bit of sleep. Why is this taking forever? Is Splashly streaming right now? Because you are very correct. Yeah, she's not on right now. Yeah, well, oh goodness, I get to hear myself. Oh, I'm just curious what, because this would be someone we haven't rated before. Ah, she just went offline. Well, sure enough, I tell you what, let's raid Jenny Nexus. This is someone I have not rated before. All right, everyone. If I can get OBS to respond, there we go. Raid. All right, everyone. Again, thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Definitely hang around for we raid Jenny Nexus. I will be back Friday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern. That's UTC -5. We're gonna continue this work. So we're gonna work on getting it as a component. And again, if I have answers from the product team about some of those questions, I'll let you know what I can let you know. Some of it might be NDA, and I can't let you know. But with that, everyone, you all have an awesome day, and I'll see you later.